key to the treasure.
Get rich with one piece. Get rich with one piece.
Yo, we got Luffy and Zoro, the better the duo. Sanji and Noosa bring out the bankroll. Jekyll Mariah, he rips your soul. Brooke and Perona, they cold like a snow globe. Going through the stack like we looking for some crack. Taking y'all to class, man, you better know your math. Call the deck mather, cause he always running black. We don't need no power tools, we just bring the axe. Cause we bout to chop it up. TCG, level up. This is more than beginner's luck. Got so many ribs, they backing up. Rapping so cold, got the mains froze. Everybody know that the gang goes. Laws of the land don't make me repeat. We the next king. Getting rich with one piece.
Get rich with one piece.
The piece of the cause, the key to the treasure.
Get rich with one piece. 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 Get rich with one piece.
The piece of the cause, the key to the treasure.
Get rich with one piece. Get rich with one piece.
Yo, we got Luffy and Zoro, the better the duo. Sanji and Noosa bring out the bankroll. Jekyll Mariah, he rips your soul. Brooke and Perona, they cold like a snow globe. Going through the stack like we looking for some crack. Taking y'all to class, man, you better know your math. Call the deck mather, cause he always running black. We don't need no power tools, we just bring the axe. Cause we bout to chop it up. TCG, level up. This is more than beginner's luck. Got so many ribs, they backing up. Rapping so cold, got the mains froze. Everybody know that the gang goes. Laws of the land don't make me repeat. We the next king. Getting rich with one piece.
Get rich with one piece.
The piece of the cause, the key to the treasure.
Get rich with one piece. Get rich with one piece. Get rich with one piece. Get rich with one piece.
Hey, buddy. Long time no see, man. It's been a minute since you've been in the stream. I'm just kidding. It's been a minute since I've streamed consistently. No, dude, it's my fault. I stream not even once a week at this point. But I think things are getting a little bit better. With work and things are slowing down just a little bit right now, which is nice. So it's not burning me out as much, you know what I'm saying? So today I did something that I didn't, and it does help that today was the release for Riftbound Unleashed. So you know, that was a little bit of extra motivation, but I ran like my errands like I used to do. I used to do it all the time. Like every day I was going to Target. I was just running around. And it wasn't crazy today, but after work I went to, oh no, I actually did it. Well, okay. So again, today is the release for Riftbound from League of Legends. And so when I went to go, I was gonna go get my daughter from school. One of the card shops that I had pre-ordered a box from is on the way, right? So I left like 15 minutes earlier, I think, or something like that, to go. I was going to swing by the shop and grab my box real quick, since, again, I was going to be headed that way. So I did that, and I didn't even get a box of Spirit Forge, so the second set, from this shop because they didn't get an allocation during like wave 1. They didn't get an allocation at all. So it was a shit show. So I never got a box of Riftbound or the Spirit Forge from them because there's this weird thing. The dude explained it to me today. Whatever. But anyways, so I go there. they had my box, and they had a shit ton of everything. And shit ton is relative because no one has anything for Riftbound or One Piece, and they had both things, right? And so I got my box. I got my box of booster packs. They had one of these vaults, so this is something new that's this set. So this is their third set. This is the first time they're doing that. So I'll read this to you real quick. What this vault is, right? So it's this cool little box. They had one of these. I tried to pre-order it from the other shop that I'd normally go to on a regular basis, but apparently maybe I was too far down the list or something happened. I don't know what happened, but I wasn't able to get one from them, which whatever, it is what it is. But again, I was able to get one from this other shop. And I didn't even pre-order one. They just had them there. And what's funny is I actually asked because I was going to get my box. And I was like, do you have those vaults or whatever? Because they didn't have them out there on display. So I'm just assuming that they didn't have them, but I was going to ask anyways. And he did have them. So I was super pumped. Anyways, let me read what this vault is. So it says, get ready to crack into the Unleashed Vault. This high-value bundle contains a variety of contents that are perfect to complement a growing Riftbound collection. Packaged in a reusable storage box, inside you'll find 6 booster packs from Riftbound Set 3 Unleashed, 36 basic runes to power your decks, 3 double-sided full art tokens, and 2 dividers to help keep your new cards organized. So most of this shit I don't give a fuck about, right? 36 basic runes, whatever. I have hundreds of runes at this point. You know what I'm saying? Like I have so many runes, I'm selling the runes because I just have so many. Because each pack comes with a rune or a token. So, but you're getting a ton of runes. So I have those 3 double-sided full art tokens. I'm kind of excited to see what those look like. Those would be pretty cool. And then 2 dividers to help you keep your new cards organized, whatever. So this really has what's really nice about this one is it has the 6 booster packs. So we'll see. I'll be opening one of these tonight. Super pumped about that. Anyways, so I go there and they have the booster box that I'm looking for. They have Origins, right? So the first set, okay, which was going for $300+, after its own release, right? So, but it's come back down quite a bit, right? It's like right at $200, I would say. It's a little bit under 200. We'll call it 200 just to make the story go by. But yeah, so they're like the market value of them via TCG Player is about $200 for them right now. But I just haven't seen them anywhere because no one gets any more Origins, right? Because it's an older set, blah, blah, blah. They have a box. They have multiple boxes of Origins in there. And I'm sitting here because I'm so used to like there being limits and they're not really selling a whole lot of stuff. They're limiting you to 1 pack per box or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So they're using the boxes to open and so that's what I'm used to. So I'm like, are you guys selling the boxes of these Origins? He's like, yeah. I'm like, I need that. I need a box of Origins. So I got a box of Origins. I got a box of Unleashed. So set 1 and set 3. Set 1, I am saving that because I think this, it's a risk, right? It's obviously a risk because who knows, Riftbound could crash and burn and no one likes it and then it just kind of disappears, right? And then I have all this product for a game that doesn't really exist anymore. But I think Riftbound is doing pretty well right now, and it's a very interesting game. I've been watching a ton of it. I really like watching the game. The gameplay is really good. So we'll see what happens in a few years to see if it was wise of me to A, buy them, and then B, to hold on to them. But so I'm keeping that. The first boxes from One Piece from like 3 years ago, they're going for like $5,000, right? So the sets from One Piece. So we'll see. Anyways, Yes, it's probably gonna be a longer stream. The unboxing videos typically, run a little bit longer. It's Friday, we chilling. What's up? So it's gonna be a good day. Hopefully, it's gonna be a good day. Um, I okay, so yes, so I'm there. There's that, right? I got a box of one. I got a box of three. I'm pumped. I got one of these. I got one of these um, vaults, right? That's what they're called, vaults. This is what we're gonna open first, by the way. Um, so we got a vault. Um, then they have One Piece. They have some One Piece. Again, it's just so shocking now to see these things in the wild, just living there. You know what I'm saying? So, anyways, they had some boxes available, but they were EBO3 boxes, and I'm not really interested in the EBO3. The EBO3 sets are good, but they are. It's about half the cards of a normal set, but in a box, you still get the same amount of cards, right? So it's like you're getting way more duplicates. And with EVO3 specifically, they didn't have any uncommon cards. It just went from common to rare, and then super rare, and then the secret rare that they had. So long story short, you're just getting a shit ton of duplicates. So I have so many of all the EBO3 cards. I think that EBO3 it's one of those sets that I think is going to do really well, like in the long term, as far as like the value of the boxes are probably going to go up. That's what I think. Who knows? But so I could have potentially bought one, but I have quite a few boxes now. I just wasn't interested in buying one. I was already buying a bunch of other shit. Maybe I'll go back. But they had some packs of OP15. I ended up buying some of them. They did have some packs of OP14. They actually had the double boxes, which I hadn't even opened one of those double boxes. So I was really close to buying one of those. But they were $30. They were running for $30, and there's only 2 packs in there. So essentially, you're paying $15 per pack. And I was like, I'm good on that. I really don't want to do that. I really don't want to pay that for one of the packs. So kind of regretting, because I really wish I had some OP14. And the double packs, I don't know this by any means, but in my opinion, from what I've seen, the odds of getting hits are much higher, because there's only, well, I guess there's 20 packs total, right? In a display case of the double packs. So there's 10 double packs, 2 packs in each double pack. So it's 20. In a box, there's 24, right? So the odds are slightly better to get a hit, because they have like I don't know what they have. I know that they have hits, distributed. Anyways, so that's what I got from that store. Okay, and then I come back home. I'm finishing my work day off, and then I'm just in a good mood. I'm just feeling better. I was able to get some stuff from my shop. I was just going in there expecting to get one thing, so I'm in a good mood. Work isn't killing me anymore, literally killing me. And so I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go run my errands. So I was feeling really good. So I went to Target. They didn't have anything at all. They didn't have anything. Like, they had some Magic the Gathering, and they had, I guess, Yu-Gi-Oh came out with a new set too. I was very, very close to getting some of the Yu-Gi-Oh, but I ended up not doing that. Magic is just all over the place. I don't know if Magic is just kind of like, I don't know. Magic has been out for a very long time. It has its fan base, but there's always Magic available, right? There's always Magic. Maybe they do a better job. Maybe Wizards of the Coast does a better job of like distributing and providing inventory. But anyway, so I went there. They didn't have anything, and then so I went to another shop that they don't do pre-orders, but they typically will sell you whatever the day of the release, right? So I go to this shop. It's a shop that I typically go to on Thursdays. Okay, that's my daughter. Anyways, I go to the shop on Thursdays, but you know, went there today to get a box. I had called beforehand to make sure that they had them, and this place be taxing like a motherfucker. They be taxing. So, hey, sweetie, did you have fun? Yeah, so they tax like a motherfucker, but whatever. They're running their business. And so I go there and they had their boxes. I picked up 2 boxes from them, 2 boxes of the Riftbound Unleashed. They were, and let me take a step back. The boxes were $130. $130. I've been paying $200 for a box of anything for the past 6 months. Everything's been $200, 200 plus. Everything, Riftbound, fucking One Piece. It's been $200. This was only $130. I was shocked. I was shocked that both places were charging $130 for this set. So I was very shocked, very surprised. I ended up getting 2 boxes from that first shop. I ended up getting 2 of the pre-built decks too. So because I like to get that for my collection. I have 2 of these vaults. Bought a second vault from the second place. I guess I just got ahead of myself, but one of those will be saved because again, the collector in me is wanting to have the actual intact piece. But anyway, so I go here. They had the vaults. They had the pre-constructed decks. I didn't get any pre-constructed decks, but I probably should have, but they were running like 20. No, they were running 30, and they were 22 at the first place that I had gotten them from. So I'm like, you know what? I'll probably be able to get those constructed decks at some point because I like to open those on stream as well. And I have my 2 that are going to be, you know, saved, and any other pre-constructed decks I'll probably end up opening. But they had those. I was able to get I got 2 boxes from them. I got one of these. And then what else did I get? I got something else from. Oh, and they also had a box of Origins too. So I ended up getting 2 boxes of Origins. And that was only $190. So it was a very good day. Like I spent a whole bunch of money, but I think it was very well worth it, right? Because I actually got a ton of shit, right? Whereas, you know, if this was any set before this, if this was a one piece, you know, they're charging $200 a box. I would have gotten a lot less stuff for the same amount that I paid. So I'm super pumped. I got all 3 boxes of this Unleashed here because we're gonna get back to my roots. We're gonna weigh them. We're gonna weigh the boxes. We're not gonna weigh each of the packs, but we are gonna weigh the boxes to figure out which one that we're gonna open. Here I just decided I was gonna open the box that I got from the second place because they have a sticker on theirs. Which, you know what, it's very easy to take the sticker off. So yeah, the sticker's already off. So, you know, we're gonna weigh these 2. All right, we're gonna weigh both of these, and we're gonna figure out which one we're gonna keep, which one we're gonna open. I opened the pack. Oh, I think I mentioned this, but I got like 5 or 6 packs of OP15 from the first shop, and I opened those already. I didn't get anything crazy. I did get 2 super rares, and what's funny is I got 2 super rares that I actually needed. I didn't have a full play set of either one of these. Mama Ragen, which is like the most OP event that's ever been created, and I don't mean One Piece, I mean overpowered. And then I got a Kobe from, I guess, you know, OP15 had EBO4, the second half of EBO4, and then its own set all combined. So this Kobe was a super rare from the EBO4 portion, and I still only have 3 of those. After opening this one today, I still only have 3 of them, so I still need 1 to complete my play set. But I got the Mama Ragen, and then I got one of those Kobe's, which was pretty good. Everything else was, you know, everything else was very mid and went into the bulk. But yeah, I'm super pumped. They got some really good looking cards in Unleashed. I still need to take my I'll show it in my camera when I switch it over, but I have this SP that I opened a few days ago. I think I opened that earlier this week on my last stream. I think actually that must have been on Monday. I think I streamed on Monday because Tuesday I was gonna talk about it with the people because I think I had gotten a double, like a treasure rare and a SP in the same box. But anyways, that was the last time I streamed. All right, let's get to it. God, sometimes the songs are just fucking too loud. And it doesn't look like it's like too loud for you guys, but it's too loud for me. It's like, dude. Okay, alright, let's switch this thing on over. Alright. Oh yeah, I gotta do it this way, don't I? Yep. Man, I've been doing this for so long, and I think just like one of the more recent streams, I realized that if I turn it this way, you guys can actually see the weight. Yeah, it doesn't change or adjust it because you can't really see the weight. Well, I guess you can like kind of see it, right? It's extremely hard to see, and I think sometimes it's like you can't see it, right? It loses focus. But yeah, we'll do it. I'm doing it in ounces. We don't do ounces. We're gonna do grams. All right. Yep. Stay. Bad. Stay. 473.88. That's what we're gonna go with. 473.88. All right. This is the first box. That was the box I was gonna open in the first place. 476. Wow. Big difference. All right. 3 grams. A difference of 3 grams. So this is the box that's going to be opened. So we're going to keep you. All right. Ooh, I'm actually very excited to open this. And then we're gonna put that to the side because we're gonna weigh our boxes. All right, so we can take a look at this really quickly. Vi, one of the leaders of this set. Actually, I think she's just like she's just the leader for one of the, not the side decks, but the pre-constructed decks. All right, I'm a little bit too zoomed in for this box, but I don't feel like unzooming and then zooming back in. But yeah, this is what this vault looks like. It's the outside of it before we tear into that thing. Okay. Man, I was shocked when I saw the origins today. I really was. I was shocked that I went to the first. So the second shop had One Piece too, but they're, like I said, they be taxing quite a bit. And a box of OP15 was, so they did have boxes of OP15. That actually the only thing they had was OP15. At least the only thing that they had out. They might have had some other shit, but it wasn't out. But OP15 was like $200 a box, and I just, I was like, you know what? I'm already spending a shit ton of money on this other stuff. I don't want to spend another 200. And like OP15, I'm having a very hard time selling OP15 right now anyways, right? So, I'm like, I don't need another box, and I already got 2 boxes here. So, all right, so we're taking the skirt off that thing. All right, this looks pretty sweet. Kind of like this box. Yeah. This box looks pretty cool. Here we open it. It's this is what we got in there. big open space. Okay, what are they wanting us to do here? Okay, so we take this out, and these look like punch outs. I don't know what for, but yeah, these are punch outs. And then here we go. This is what they look like here. Got the 6 booster packs, and then these are probably the rift or the runes, and then the double-sided tokens. All right, let's see what we got. Yep, here are the runes. Yeah, like I get it. Don't get me wrong. I understand. Like, they want people to play the game, so they're gonna put runes in the shit and everything. But it's just kind of like, holy shit, I have so many runes. But it's not hard to sell the runes. People will buy the runes very easily. Ooh, this is interesting. This is very interesting. All right, so these are those tokens. I don't even want to open them now, but I'm gonna open these. So there's something really cool about what's happening with Unleashed is that they're introducing. Obviously, the game is so new; they can do this pretty easily. But they're introducing like a lot of new mechanics. They did the same thing with the second set. They introduced gear, or excuse me, they introduced equipment, which is gear that you can actually equip to your champion or to your units. And so there's an Ivern legend, not leader, legend. And it deals with like these tokens where you do a bird token, I think it's like a dog, cat token, blah blah blah, something like that. And so it's really cool to actually have a physical card that depicts these tokens. And then he also creates a brush, right? He creates like a brush battlefield. So when when one of your units attacks a battlefield, again, this is this Ivern's Legends ability. We'll probably see him at some point. But you turn that battlefield into a brush. You turn that battlefield into a brush battlefield. So it's a very, very unique, like you're altering the battlefields mid-game. So it's very cool. It's very amazing. And this one is actually foil. So, all right, this says it's a token battlefield, brush. It says, okay, so here they go. Bird, cat, dog, Poro, and Ivern units here have +1 might. When you score here, you may replace this with the battlefield it replaced. So basically, when you score, you can, right? Because obviously your opponent's probably not going to be, because this bird, cat, dog, Poro, this is like an Ivern specific thing. And so they're probably going to want to take that away from you because it only benefits you if you're playing Ivern. So very cool stuff. Let me go ahead and open this. And the battlefield actually looks really dope, right? It's right, there's like these things hiding in the brush here. And there's someone, I don't know what this character is, but they're like hiding, waiting to pounce. I'm assuming this is there's 5 things here. Well, I guess it could be like Ivern, bird, cat, dog, and Poro. So all those things could be, accounted for there. All right, let's take a look at these. I'm actually excited for these. Oh, there's only 2 of these double-sided things. So maybe each of the different vaults has like a different combination of these. All right, so bird, it's a unit, or it's a token unit, I guess. With deflect, opponents must pay power to choose me with a spell or ability. Or there's 3 of them in here. Oh, they're all the same thing. Okay. They're bird and are all these there's 3 of them. Okay, yeah, all these are hollow too. Yeah, this is pretty sweet. Yeah, this is pretty cool. I bet you they have like Poro tokens, the cat dogs, these that they were talking about. Yeah. This actually looks really good. I like that a lot. Cool. And that's gonna be pretty easy. I'm gonna like everything a lot. I always like the new stuff. Okay, I'm gonna put this back in here again. What did they call this? What did they call that punch out thing? Let me see. Packaged in a reusable storage box inside 6 booster packs, 36 basic runes, 3 double-sided full art. Oh, okay. 3. I thought there was only 2. So 3 double-sided full art tokens and 2 dividers to help keep your new cards organized. Okay, so these are dividers. Gotcha. That makes sense. Dividers. Okay. What is this supposed to hold the cards in them? Maybe. I don't know. I like this box. I'll find a use for it. Oh man, that shrunk down quite a bit. Yeah, it shrunk down a lot. Okay, obviously, so it was getting held up by this piece here. So we're gonna put this back in here. I bet you probably don't need this one. I bet you it's meant to only be smaller, but I like the way this looks, so we're gonna keep it like that. All right. Man, I need some water. All right, so we'll take a look at what these look like here. This is what the new pack looks like. This is Vi from the series. I don't really like it. I kind of do. I guess I can just shut the hell up because I don't dislike it, right? I think because they had Vi, they had her artwork and her whole character designed before the show came out, and the show just kind of took over. Some of the characters that are in the show took over their design from what they originally looked like in the game. Which, whatever, who really cares, Who really cares? Ooh, I'm excited to see what this says. Key game terms. Okay, so nothing new on this one, which is fine. Okay. All right. So this is all going to be new. So we're going to spend some time reading through some of these cards. You're welcome. All right. So 6 cost, 6 might unit, towering Parophant. Oh, like maybe a parrot and an elephant mixture, something like that. All right, with assaults, +1 while I'm a defender. If a unit died this turn, I enter ready. Oh, it says, that's nice. If a unit, right? So it doesn't have to even be your unit. It doesn't have to be a friendly unit. It could be any unit. All right. So 2 cost, 2 might, Wuju Apprentice. Hunt. So that's a new keyword. So I'm sure some of these new information cards will have the new so XP, which we're gonna see that here as well, and then some of these new keywords. So hunt is a new one. When I conquer or hold, gain 1 XP. Okay, so that makes sense. It has to deal with XP gaining. Level 6. When you play me, draw 1. While you have 6+ XP, get the effect. Okay. Interesting. So yeah, the more XP that you gain during a game, it's going to give different effects. Like we'll see the Master Yi, which is crazy. Master Yi, I think he's had like a new character. He didn't have a legend in the second set. He had one in the first set, but he has a second legend already. And it has to deal with like XP, different levels of XP. So, all right, this is a spell, Moonlight Affliction. Reaction: give a unit -10 might this turn for 7. Goodness, that's a pretty strong ability. But it does take a whole lot of. It does take a whole. Excuse me. It does take a whole lot of runes. No power either. Interesting. None of these have had power. Any of these have had power. Power is such a like, I didn't realize how important power cost is in the game, because when you have to take a rune and basically put it to the bottom of the rune deck, like, it really sets you back. Or I mean, obviously if it's worth it, then it's worth it, but like, you're gonna have to get that rune back next turn, right? Because you can only get 2 runes a turn. Obviously you can, there's other ways to get runes and stuff, but all right. Ultra Soft Poro, he's a chunkers, 5 cost 5 might. So it's a unit. So you exhaust it, play 2 1 might bird unit tokens with deflect. Those are the ones that we saw, right? We saw those. Those were the those double-sided tokens that I misplaced. Yeah, cool already. Use this ability only while I'm at a battlefield. Okay. Okay, not too bad. Way to get some bird tokens. All right. Towering Combatant. 4 might. Excuse me, 4 cost 3 might with shield +2. Tank. Okay, so that's not too bad. Just a defender. 5 cost 6 might. Walking Roost with deflect. When you play me, choose an opponent. They play. When you play me, choose an opponent. They play a 1 might bird unit token with deflect. Okay, there must be something that has to do with like your opponent having these creatures as well too, because that's very weird. 3 might, 2. Excuse me, 3 cost 2 might. I keep getting that backwards. Black Rose Dignitary. With Assault and Death Knell, channel 1 rune exhausted. So the there's another oh my god, what is it called? There's something new, and we're gonna see it once we run into a what is it called? What is her name? Damn, I cannot think of these people's names anymore. I'm so far removed from actually playing League of Legends. LeBlanc, there we go, LeBlanc. It's very interesting. So we'll see some of LeBlanc's stuff in some of these, and there's going to be a lot of these death nails, and we will see how this how this actually is going to function once we see those, once we find some of those. All right, so we're getting to the uncommon cards now. So 2 might spell Fresh Beans. Ooh. When you play a unit during a showdown, you may exhaust this. Oh, so this is a gear, excuse me. You may exhaust this to draw 1 card, or to draw 1. Ooh, another battlefield. While you control this battlefield, so this is the Forgotten Library. When you control this battlefield, sorry if I'm not holding it correctly. When you play a spell, if you spent 4 or more, predict. Okay, a new keyword. Very nice. Look at the top card of your main deck. You may recycle it. So that's vision. That's interesting. That's very interesting. So vision does the same exact thing. Huh. Okay. That's pretty cool. That's a pretty cool effect, especially if you're gonna be doing a lot of drawing and things like that. All right, so 3 cost, 2 might, Enthusiastic Promoter with Backline, another new key term. And some of these key terms I've seen before. Some of them are absolutely brand new. Predict was brand new. This Backline was brand new. I must be assigned combat damage last. So I think I've seen that before. Maybe it was maybe it wasn't a keyword, maybe it was just maybe it was just, I think that was like Caitlyn, right? I think like the Caitlyn from set one had that verbiage, and maybe it was just like text on the card and not a keyword. So, all right. When I hold, buff all units here. Okay, that's nice. Frisky Hunter. When you play me, play a 1 might bird unit token with deflect here. Okay, this one is hollow. Ooh, now we're getting into the good stuff. Conscription. 5 cost, 2 power. So I think this is the first thing that we've seen with power. All right. You may spend 5 XP as an additional cost to play this. Okay. Choose an enemy unit at a battlefield with 3 might or less. If you paid the additional cost, choose any enemy unit. Okay, I see. If you pay the additional cost, choose any enemy unit at a battlefield instead. Okay, so it's either 3 might, or if you paid the 5 cost, the 5 XP, you can pick any unit. Take control of it, exhaust it, and recall it. Oh, that is cool. That is very, very interesting. Take control of it, exhaust it, and recall it. That's cool. That's very interesting. That is very interesting. Man, this game is such, it plays more like a board game, right? Than just a traditional card game. In traditional card game, in the sense of how I understand a card game to be, like Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, you're battling, that kind of stuff, right? But this is it plays, there's so many different pieces. Like now they're introducing like XP into it. You can create different battlefields. It's very cool. Ooh, we got an epic already. Let's go. A Lilia. First pack. Champion unit. Okay, 5 might, or excuse me, 5 cost. I keep getting this backwards. 5 cost, 4 might. Protector of Dreams. When you play a token unit, give me +1 this turn. Your token units have tank. They must be assigned combat damage first. Very, very interesting. Very interesting. And this is, once we see Ivern, once we see Ivern, it'll probably, I think Lilia has she has a legend as well too, but very nice hit for the first pack. You get an epic from the very first pack. Cool beans. All right, I'm gonna have to find a place to put these because obviously there's no bulk here yet. There probably won't be until box number 2, whenever I decide to open more packs. Because typically one box will fill up my collection, but it won't give me, or it won't even fill up my collection. Excuse me, let me take that back. It'll do a decent amount. It'll make a good dent. And this set actually has more than set number 2 did, right? So let me see how many cards set 2 had. Set 2 had like 170. Let me see. Oh, set 2 had 221. Okay, that's right, because set 1 had a crazy amount. 298. Okay, set 1 had 290. So 300 basically. Set 1 had 300 cards. Set 2 has 220, and then set number 3 has 219. So okay, this is the lowest amount of cards so far. Ooh, Fate Weaver. This looks like a pretty cool card. 5 cost, 4 might. Got it right that time. When you play me, look at the top 4 cards of your main deck. Okay, interesting. You may reveal a spell with energy, cost of 4 or more, from among them, and draw it. Recycle the rest. Okay, so we've seen a couple of different things. I think maybe one card that I had read earlier today. I haven't opened any packs today. I was going through some of the more popular cards. I think it was like a Jin. I think it was a Jin card. And he's in this blue domain too. And a lot of it's focused around spells of 4 cost or more. And before we get too far into this pack, I'm gonna grab some water. I'm getting thirsty. I'll be right back. Whew. All right, sorry about that, guys. When you're thirsty, you're thirsty. And I still have a box, like a half a box of Spirit Forge that I need to open. I'll probably open that on my own. All right. Upstage Comedy. 2 cost spell with repeat. Ready a unit. Wow. That is for two cost. No recycling. That is very interesting. That is very, very interesting. So something I've noticed so far is not many cards have had power costs. And like I said, when I'm actually watching these games, it's kind of crazy because like you have 12 runes like in your deck. No one ever makes it. I don't think I've ever seen anybody get all 12 of their runes out, right? Because there's so many cards, and so many of the good cards that you're going to play in your deck have these recycle costs, right? And you're recycling all the time. You're just recycling your runes, right? So you're very low on these runes. Now that I'm looking through some of these, there's not a whole. Yeah, there's some that. Yeah, I guess there's not a whole lot that have like the power costs or whatever, but it's just. And again, when a card has a power cost, it's a pretty good card. So the pretty good cards are going to be in the fucking decks, right? So that's probably why when I watch these, really good players play, they're playing all the really good cards, and the really good cards have the power cost. So I'm assuming that's kind of what it is. Why it just feels like every card that gets played has a power cost. So no one ever really gets to high numbers of their runes. All right, 6 cost, 6 might unit, Maunch. We'll call it Maunch. If an opponent controls a stunned unit, I cost 2 less and enter ready. Wow, that's pretty good. That is pretty good. All right, so 2 might. Oh, that definitely will go on Vex, and I can see Vex in the picture because Vex stuns units pretty easily. Turn to Dust, 2 cost spell. Give a gear temporary. Okay, very nice. Heroic Charge. Give a friendly unit +1 might this turn and stun an enemy unit at its location. That's a really good ability. All right. Kinku Initiate. When you play me, draw 1 if your other units have total might 5 or more. Isolate. Move an enemy unit from a battlefield to its base. Then, if there's an enemy unit alone at that battlefield, draw 1. That's not bad. That's kind of like Rebuke. Rebuke is a very, very popular card. I can definitely see this card being Look, sometimes I really like the little quotes that they have on here. So it's isolate, right? The This is wanting you to isolate. Then if there is an enemy unit alone at that battlefield, draw one. Hey, where is everyone? Common last words. That's hilarious. They do such a good job with some of those. All right, Valley of Idols. It's like a frog. All right, when a player plays a unit here, they may pay 1 to buff it. That's a very good. Again, I'm kind of thinking through, and I don't know all the decks and all the different strategies and things like that, only from what I've watched recently. And this would go very well with Set, right? And so Set, what he does is, if a unit were to die, if one of your units were to die, you can spend, I think it has to be their buff, right? You can spend their buff in order to, I think it's like heal and recall them. So instead of dying, if a character has a buff, instead of it dying, you rest your legend, your Set legend, and then you get to recall that character so they don't die. One of the biggest, wouldn't even call it an issue because there's a ton of ways to actually buff your characters or your units in that deck. But I would say one of the harder things is like sometimes you just run into issues where you can't buff something, or you can't buff the right thing for whatever reason. So this would be very, very nice. This would be very cool with Set, because whenever you play a unit here, you get to buff it. Basically, you have to pay a 1 cost to buff it, but you get that buff on them. And again, it gives them that protection, especially when you have a very important card. Because some cards are just cannon fodder, you know what I'm saying? You don't really want to protect them. You don't want to use your ability to protect them. It's fine them dying, but sometimes, the better cards are going to have that. So this would go very well with Set, I think, I don't know. Blast Cone. All right, when you play this, so it's a gear, 4 cost 1 power, we're getting into power. When you play this, you may move an enemy unit. When you move an enemy unit, you may exhaust. Okay. When you move an enemy unit, I see. Because that's what blast cones do. You may exhaust this to stun it. That's very interesting because so you use it once. Okay, so there's probably other things that you can use to move enemy units. Like there's the charm. There's a lot of other cards, right? The isolate, right? The isolate will do that as well. So there's a lot of cards that allow you to move your opponent. So I guess this makes sense. Okay, I was thinking, you can only use it one time. That doesn't make sense. Okay, we got a second. This one, the foil one. See, one of the things about this is I can't. Okay, so this isn't even a foil one, but they gave me 2. I thought that other one was very far up that battlefield. All right, the Academy. We got Heimerdinger hanging out here. All right, when you hold here, give your next spell this turn repeat equal to its base cost. Dude, there is some cooking that is gonna. I cannot wait for this new set to actually get some games in like different tournaments, because there's gonna be some cooking done. There's absolutely gonna be some cooking done. Vicious Snap Jaws, 5 cost, 5 might. When another friendly unit dies, gain 1 XP. Okay, that's very interesting. I'm assuming it's not like a once per turn type of a deal. Nothing really is a once per turn type of deal in this game. Especially with like those death nails, that would really are temporary. Oh, we haven't even gotten into the temporary and how it kind of combines with some other things. But all right, so this is Undying Legion. 3 cost, 3 might, Legion. You may play me from your trash for 3 and a power. Very cool. That is very cool. Get the effect if you played another card this turn, right? So you play a card, and then you get to play this from the trash for just 1 power. So, nice. Galio. This was one of my favorite champions in the game. I liked playing with Galio. Probably because he was tanky. Like you could have different builds for him. Like and I wasn't very good at the game, so the more damage I could take, the better. So 3 cost 6. You haven't seen that before. 3 cost 6 might, 1 power. With deflect, that is good. That is very good. Tank. I must be assigned combat damage first, and I don't deal combat damage. So it's just a tank, but it's for 3 might, or for 3 cost. It's a 6 might tank. That's absolutely beneficial. That's a very good ability. I like it a lot. All right, we got an XP tracker. Track gained XP here. Some cards get bonuses based on your level. Some cards can spend XP for powerful effects. Okay, yeah. So track gained XP here. I don't understand, what does that mean? Oh, and it has a gold too. Huh, so I don't understand. Maybe it's, every XP that you get, you stack one of these, I guess. All right, pack number 3. Man, I'm kind of thinking, I don't know if I want to. We're not going to open a whole box. That's definitely not going to happen. But we will open a box. XP and leveling up. All right, we're gonna have to read through this one. XP and leveling up. XP is a new kind of resource you can gain during the game. The only way to get XP is to use cards that let you gain it through their abilities, especially those with the hunt keyword. All right. Many cards that gain XP also have level, which means they gain abilities as you reach certain XP thresholds. In Unleashed, cards care about 3, 6, 11, and 16 XP. Many cards that gain XP also let you spend it for effect. This can cause you to drop below the level threshold for other cards. A new resource you can accumulate as you play. Other cards care about XP. All right, very interesting. All right, let's see. This is going to be our first rune. All right, Ice Veil Archer. So 2 cost, 2 might unit from the Frail Horde. When I attack, you may pay 1 to give a unit here -1 this turn. That's not that great. 2 cost, 1 might, Inferna. With Ambush, you may play me as a reaction to a battlefield where you have units. So that's a new keyword too, Ambush. Assault +2. Okay, so 2 cost, 3 might, and you get to play it as a reaction. So very interesting. Yeah, I think that's a very good use of, so basically you're trying to get value out of things, and more value you can get out of things. So being able to play this like in a showdown, to play 2 costs to gain 3 might that's beneficial. All right, Herald of Spring. 4 cost, 4 might, 1 power. When you play me, gain 2 XP. Mr. Root. 2 cost, 1 might with Accelerate. When I move to a battlefield, gain 2 XP. Okay, so there's a lot of XP going on in this pack. All right, 6 might, 6 cost. Still got it right. Scrutinizing Sergeant. When you play me, gain 1 XP for each friendly unit. Okay, this whole pack, we haven't had anything that's dealt with XP at all yet. Well, we did have that one that had the hunt, but now every card in this pack has dealt with XP. All right, Concentrate, 5 cost spell, draw 2. Seems pretty good already. Level 6, this costs 2 less, while you have 6 XP. Level 11, this costs 4 less instead. Okay, so bam, this is a perfect example of what XP can do for you, right? So if you're all the way up to 11, this is a 1 cost spell that lets you draw 2 cards. Absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. Even at level 6, you can still, for 3, you can draw 2 cards. That's still not bad. That's still not bad. But obviously you want to get all the way up to a level 11. All right. 6 cost, 6 might, Mega Tusk. Spend 3 XP. Every single card in here has been about XP so far. Maybe this first 2 haven't. Yeah, the first 2, but then after that, they're all XP based. Interesting. Mega Tusk, spend 3 XP. Give your units here ganking this turn. Okay. Altar of Blood. If a unit here would die during combat, its controller may pay 3 power to heal it, exhaust it, and recall it instead. Whatting? I don't know what you're talking about. Or did something say whatting? Did I say something stupid? Maybe. That's highly possible. May have said something incorrectly. Oh, that's funny. Gang. No, I get it now, bro. You just said whatting, like you respond to things, you know, after, because I'm doing it live. There's a delay to you, and so I didn't understand what you're saying. Ganking, gank that. Yeah, I thought that's what your name came from, like some sort of League of Legends for ganking. Whatting, that's funny. All right, so 4 cost spell, Deadly Flourish. Okay, remember, and especially in blue is mind. Yeah, blue is the mind domain, and so a lot of the 4 cost events are important because they matter for some of the other things. Deadly Flourish, deal 3 to an enemy unit. Okay, seems good. When it dies this turn, play a gold gear token exhausted. It has reaction, kill this. Oh, okay. Add power. The world is cruel. It does not have to be ugly. All right, 2 might. Oh, okay, did they have ganking in WoW as well? All right, Lotus Trap, 2 cost spell with hidden reaction, and choose a unit. Double all damage that would be dealt to it this turn. Wow, they have some very, very cool things here. I think we're gonna get a hit. First card is the first foil card is a rare, which just so happens to be a legend, which I'm very excited about getting the legends, because I haven't even read this Pike yet. I haven't read this Pike. I don't know what he does. I've read some of the legends. I haven't read this one. I'm excited to kind of go through there and figure it out. All right, so Pike. So he's a part of the Fury and Chaos domains, red and purple. All right, Blood Harbor Ripper. Artwork looks really good too. Oh, cool. I'd like to hear that. I genuinely would. So I hope I get to hear that soon. All right. So you pay one and rest this character or this legend. Return a friendly unit at a battlefield to its owner's hand. Play a gold gear token exhausted. Okay. That's very cool. That's actually pretty cool because like I really like when they have like the legend really, and they do this in a lot of the card games. It's not 100%, but like One Piece they do this sometimes, and I notice it pretty heavily in sometimes in Riftbound. But when the card or the character or whatever it is like matches what that character does in the game or the show or whatever, right? So Pike, he has his little hooks and he shoots his hooks out and he grabs someone. He doesn't grab an ally, he grabs an enemy, but he reaches out there and he grabs someone and he pulls them towards him, right? And so that's kind of what he's doing, right? So you return a friendly unit, so you're reaching out, grabbing him, yanking him back, and then you get gold, and he gets gold in the game too. When he helps kill an enemy, but it's not exactly the same. But that's very, very cool. I really like that. So you do get to return a friendly unit, which may have some sort of like on playability, so like a really low cost unit. Keeper of Masks. I did read this card. This is the first card that I've seen that I've read before. All right, so it's a 2-cost 1 might unit with hidden. And temporary. So temporary, kill me at the start of my controller's beginning phase before scoring. All right, when you play me, play 2 reflection unit tokens here. They become copies of me. So what basically the best way that you can get value out of this is you play it hidden, you activate it, and so for 1 power you basically get to play 3 might, essentially is how this works. And there may be some other ways to kind of like boost up, you know, all units at a battlefield or something, give all units at a battlefield +1. And so now that you have 3 units here, that's an extra 2 power that you would have gotten. Ghost Games, thank you very much. Thank you very much for the follow. Welcome. Yeah, it's very interesting to kind of like think of and brainstorm how these cards would work. But I could see that being a very good card. All right, so this is gonna be a hit. We already gotten 1 hit from this box. We got that the epic Lilia. But let's see what we got here. Ooh, Arachnoid Horror. Whoa, a party of 11. That's too many people, man. That's too many people. I'm gonna get nervous. Thank you very much for the raid. That is awesome. Welcome everybody. Thank you for joining, and hang out if you would like. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. I genuinely do. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to kind of go over these cards. We're doing an unboxing right now. Right now we're doing a vault, one of these vaults. So kind of give you guys a quick rundown. We're opening the vault first. I know we're an hour and 10 minutes into it, and all we've done is a vault. We still have a box to get to. Won't be opening the whole box, but we'll do a good amount of the box. Yeah, so that's where we are. So we're finishing up this pack. This is only pack number 3, so maybe a long night. All right, so Arachnoid Horror, 6 cost, 6 might, 1 power unit with Hunt 2. So when I conquer or hold, gain 2 XP. I can be played to an occupied battlefield if an enemy unit is alone there. Okay, that is very interesting. Friendly units can be played to an occupied battlefield if an enemy unit is alone there. Okay, so that is really cool. That is actually a really cool ability. Yeah, that is very, very interesting. Six more vodka. Six more vodka. First off, the name is awesome. He did this, or they. It could be, he or she, but they did this artwork as well. It's one of those. It's one of those names that you remember, but they do some really good artwork too. I really like this. I really like this arachnoid horror. This is a horror. Sorry, horror. Not what I could have been saying. All right, so yeah, that looks really good. So we got two epics from this already. Very nice. All right, so pack number 4. It usually takes a lot longer when we're doing like the release day stuff because I stop and I read through like a lot of the cards. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna play that there. All right, let's have, okay, so new keywords in Unleashed. We'll go over this too. All right, so there are many new mechanics in the Unleashed set. So ambush, we read that already. Backline, this unit takes combat damage last. XP, hunt, level, and then predict. Okay, so these are all key. So we went through all the keywords already from the different cards that we've done. Predict, look at the top card of your main deck. You can recycle any number of them, then put the remainder back on top of your deck in any order. Okay, so predict you must be able to do obviously more than one, because like I said, vision was one that did this exact same thing, but I guess you could only do the top one. But I guess they could have just added this additional amount of cards, right? They could have added an additional amount of cards to vision instead of coming up with a new create or a new keyword. Maybe they're going to be doing some sort of adjusting to that. I don't know. All right. Anyways, downstage dramatics. So 2 cost, spell with reaction and repeat. Draw 1. I don't think that's very good. That doesn't seem very good to me. But I don't play the game. I watched quite a bit of it, but I haven't actually played a game. Well, I have, but I haven't played many games. All right, so 2 cost, 1 power spell, smite. The action keyword, deal 3 to a unit at a battlefield. If it would die this turn, banish it instead. Okay, that's very interesting. I shall smite thee. Double trouble. 2 cost spell with repeat. Look at the top 3 cards of your main deck. You may reveal a unit from among them and draw it. Recycle the rest. So I think this is kind of what the hell was that card? Called Shot was supposed to be something similar to this, but Called Shot was too overpowered. They banned that card obviously, but I think this is kind of more what Called Shot was like aiming to be. You know what I'm saying? But Call Shot was a 0 cost event. I think it was 1 power maybe. But you got to look at like the top 3 cards of your deck and pick any card from it or something like that. I believe that's the case. All right. Grim Resolve. 2 cost spell with action. Give a friendly unit +3 might this turn. When it wins a combat this turn, gain 2 XP. Yeah, I'm really excited to see more of the cards that have like the XP levels on it. Vicious Snapjaw, first duplicate that we've gotten. Black Rose Dignitary. Vicious Gromp, 5 cost, 5 might. Am I opening to gamble? I don't know what you're meaning by gamble. Yeah, I'm not sure what you mean by gamble. I'm opening them because that's typically just what this stream is. I just open packs. Typically it's One Piece, but I do open Riftbound quite a bit too because I do like Riftbound. I play One Piece. Riftbound, I've been to like some of the learning events. I went to one learning event and played a couple of games there. I just don't have a whole lot of time to spend playing 2 different card games. So I play One Piece and then I watch Riftbound, right? So I watch people play, and then I collect the cards and things like that. So that's the main thing, or that's the main reason. Gambling, hey, what's up with gambling? Tell me what's up with gambling, and maybe I'll be interested. I don't know, but that's just not something that I've done before. But that's what I'm doing. I like to open the cards, go through, especially the very first couple of days when we're open, like the new set comes out. Go through all the cards, kind of explain, brainstorm on what I think the card would be good in, that kind of thing. And again, this is very limited knowledge on based on me watching like some of the regional tournaments, right? So yeah, I don't know all the decks, I don't know all the effects of the legends off the top of my head, but I do know some again from mostly watching the tournaments. All right. Vicious Grump, 5 cost 5 might unit with Hunt 3. Okay, when I conquer or hold, gain 3 XP. All right, 3 might, 3 cost 3 might, Chakram Dancer with Ambush. When you play me, give your other units here shield this turn. Okay, wow, that's a pretty good ability, right? And you can play it like a reaction spell. That is very nice, right? Because it's kind of like a spell, so you can play it in a showdown. You gain +3 might at the battlefield, plus however many units. Hold on. Give you your other units. Okay, so this one doesn't get it, but yeah, so you play it on defense, and you can give, if you have 4 extra units there, you get 4 extra might. So this is 3 cost 7 might, essentially. That I can see that really being a very strong unit, right? It's not technically a spell, but all right. Ripper's Bay. When a unit here is returned to a player's hand, that player may pay 1 to channel 1 rune exhausted. Okay, so that plays very well with the what was his name? The Pike. Yeah, the Pike. So when a unit here is returned to a player's hand, that player may pay 1 to channel 1 rune exhausted. So very nice. I see the synergy there. I can see it. Stalking Wolf. Yeah, so I do that too, like mainly on my stream, Ghost Games. What I do is One Piece is number 1. That's what I typically am opening like 90% of the time. Riftbound is number 2. I really like Riftbound. The artwork is really cool. I used to play League of Legends quite a bit for like a couple years, but I gave up a couple years ago because it's so tilting, and so I gave up playing it, but I like to watch it because I like the game. Again, I'm just bad at it. But I've opened Pokemon packs. I've opened packs of Dragon Ball Z. I've opened Yu-Gi-Oh! Not a whole lot, like barely anything, but I'm not afraid to open things. Magic, I've opened packs of Magic. Magic's probably number 3 as far as like what I've opened. So these are games that I don't play, right? But I like to open them, and sometimes, especially like the past few months, it's been just hard to get the shit that I really wanted. It's been hard to get One Piece. It's been hard to get Riftbound. So sometimes you just to do anything, right? You just okay, they got some Magic packs at the store, I'll get those. They have some Dragon Ball Z packs at the store, I'll get those, right? So there's been a couple of different things. I've opened a lot of different things, to see what you can get, and maybe some of the artwork. Maybe you get lucky and you get a dope hit, or maybe some of the artwork kind of like catches your attention, and you're like, okay, this is something that I'm interested in. But yeah. Very nice. What is this? 30 bits or something? Yeah, I'm very new-ish to streaming. I've been streaming for a while, but they're not a lot typically have us on this. So oh, the dog. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay. I'm not gonna go back and look, but I see that it has the keyword because I did see this. So in this pack, right, in this vault, they have the brush battlefield, the token battlefield, and then they have the bird. So I was under the impression that they had tokens for all the different types, the dog, bird, poro, yada yada. I can't remember what the last one is. But I see now, okay, dog. Okay, this set is, it's starting to kind of come together again. Because I was like, I haven't seen any other tokens, right? I haven't seen any other tokens for the dog, but that's very interesting. Okay, cool. It's not good. So 4 cost, 6 might. Okay, so you're gaining 2, but 1 power. With ambush, as an additional cost to play me, kill a bird, cat, dog, or poro you control. You may play me to its battlefield. I mean, that's not horrible, but you already have ambush, right? So I guess that doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but okay. Dog. Okay, very, very interesting. So now I want to be on the lookout for that. I guess I don't really know what that word is because it's not really a keyword, right? It's not a keyword here, but I guess text. All right, mech. Or excuse me, it is a mech. I'm stuck on this row here. So 2 cost, 1 might. Carrion Dredger. With Death Knell, play a 1 might bird unit token with deflect to your base. Okay. And again, we looked at those. We saw those already. This one is the foil. Grim Apothecary. So 3 cost, 3 might unit with ambush. When you play me, you may return a friendly unit at a battlefield to its owner's hand. Okay, so we're starting to see a bunch of the synergy, right? So that this Ripper's, what is this? Ripper's Bay. Very nice. Getting cards back in your hand, you know, especially like maybe lower cost units that have really good, like, they're not on play effects, right? I'm thinking of One Piece, but when you get essentially they're on play effects, right? Like when you play me effects. So yeah, very interesting to kind of keep going through those and explore that mechanic, the cards being returned to your hand. So 2 cost, spell, Tactical Retreat with reaction. Choose a friendly unit. The next time it would die this turn, heal it, exhaust it, and recall it instead. Huh. So that's very interesting. So it's kind of like a man, I cannot think right now. Guardian. What is that? It's the gear from 2. Guardian something, I can't remember, but it isn't a gear, so this is just a spell, but it has reaction, so you can pretty much play it whenever the hell you want to. Reflection. Okay, this is really cool, right? So once we get to, hopefully we run into a LeBlanc at some point and we can talk, or something that has to deal with the reflection, or the reflection tokens, but they're very, very interesting. I don't get that card's play effects. Okay, but I think it still gets the other effects, right? So it doesn't get like the when I'm played, but it still gets the other type of like death knell effects, right? So that's very interesting. I wanna actually dive into that, and I need to. Hopefully we run into some more of those. Hope I scrolled up. Gank that. Thank you very much for the for subbing Ghost Games. Oh, that's funny. Oh, because he had the ads. God, ads are the worst, man. They really are. Like, I get it. Like, they have to make their money and all that stuff, but what is this? Keywords. Does this have any new keywords on it? So I guess Vision is a little bit different. Look at the top of your main deck. You may recycle it, but it's like, I feel like they could have. And again, the game is very new, so they're kind of making adjustments and they're tweaking things, which is great. They should be doing that, right? All right. So Skyward Strike, move an enemy unit. Okay, so 2 costs, 1 power spell, level 6, stun an enemy unit. So I wonder, do you get this instead of, so do you move it and then you get to stun another unit? Huh. Because it probably would be really dope if, for level 6, it feels like you want to do both, right? You want to be able to move a unit and stun another unit. Alright, so Ruined Rex. 6 cost, 6 might unit with Death Nail. Deal 4 to an enemy unit. Okay, very nice. It's like a last stand kind of a deal, right? A suicide bomber. 3 cost, 1 might. This better be a dope ass fucking ability because that is very understated. Alright, Prepared Neophyte. If you've spent 4 or more to play a spell this turn, I have +4 might. Okay, so very good. So we've seen that. I'm assuming, I think Jin is red and blue, so the Fury and the Mind domains. So there's a lot of that. There's a lot of that synergy with the higher cost spell. So yeah, that's a very good ability. So 3 cost 5 might. Yeah, yes sir. All right, 2 cost 1 might. Mutated Mauser with shield, and then tank. Okay, so just some cannon fodder. All right, 2 cost 2 might unit Demacian Diplomat. When you play me, gain 1 XP. Isolate. We read that one already. Crimson Pigeons. Bird. Okay, I'm starting to. Okay, I wasn't really paying attention, but now I see bird. So 3 cost 3 might. I have +2 might while I'm attacking with another unit. Back off. This is just an unflattering picture of Vex here, right? This just looks very, very weird. I'm gonna leave it at that. All right, so 3 cost spell. You can hide it, so it has the hidden keyword. Action. Stun a unit. If you've played this from your hand, draw 1. Okay, not too bad. I really like. So I feel like in One Piece they have like, it's such a standard structure for how the game and how like the verbiage on the cards are, which I like because I like structure, I like standard, I like that stuff, I really do. But I actually really do like how like free they are with these cards, with the effects of these cards. It's kind of like everything's not gonna be a keyword, you know what I'm saying? Which I feel like that's really like One Piece, it's very keyword heavy. This one has a ton of keywords on it, but it's like, if you've played a card from your hand this turn, or if you played this from your hand, draw 1. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's very unique. I like how they do that. Like they go outside of the box, and there's not like a common structure for verbiage on a card, right? It's just whatever the hell you want the card to be able to do, that's what they're gonna put on the card. All right, so Star Spring, new battlefield. The first time a player plays a non-token unit here each turn, they may move another unit they control here to its base. Okay, this will probably be really good for like a Stellarcorn herder. You know what I'm saying? Because, oh man, that would be absolutely nuts, right? Because you have a Stellarcorn herder here, and you hold it, whatever. Then you play a unit here. You get to move the Stellarcorn herder back to your base. You get the move, or you get the draw for that move. Then you get to move the Stellarcorn herder because it's not being exhausted. So very nice. Or I'm assuming it doesn't exhaust on that move. I'm assuming it doesn't, if I'm understanding that correctly. All right, 4 cost, 4 might, Mage, Seeker, Investigator. Opponents must pay 1 power for each unit beyond the first to move multiple units to my battlefield at the same time. Pretty good, pretty defensive, I like it. Amateur Recital. Man, they have a lot of double battlefield packs. When you hold here, you may move a unit at a battlefield to its base. Oh, wow. That seems pretty strong. Can you move your opponent's units from a battlefield? That is crazy. Ooh. We got the Poppy. So she's the power and the order. Power and order domains. So orange and yellow. All right, Keeper of the Hammer. When you hold, gain 1 XP. Spend 3 XP. Rest. Draw 1. All right. Determined Sentry. 1 cost, 1 might. I can't move to base. This is very interesting, I guess. This is a very 1 cost, 1 might. I can't move to base. Okay. All right. I'm sure. Oh, cool. There's a brush. I'm sure there's a very good combo here. I'm sure there's a very good combo that you use that with. I don't know what it is. I don't see the vision, but sure they did. All right, so brush. We do have the full art brushes already, which look crazy good. They look so good. But obviously, you know, they're gonna have to have these as well too. But these look amazing. But we've read through the brush already. All right, so this is the last pack of the vault, which seems just crazy that it's taken an hour and a half to get through 6 packs. All right, information card. Okay, nothing was new on there. Shadow Watcher. 4 cost, 5 might, 1 power unit. If a friendly unit died during your beginning phase this turn, I enter ready. See, like that is just so very unique of text on a card, right? So I love how they do that. That's very you know, it gives the game a lot of variability and you know, I really like that. Okay, so very cool. And that has a lot to do with like the temporary, right? So the temporary, if a card has temporary, it dies during the beginning phase before you like hold or score your points or anything like that. So there's a lot of cards that can gain temporary from that reflection token that I was showing you earlier. Once we run into something that talks about that, it'll probably make a little bit more sense. But all right, so 3 cost spell Eclipse with reaction. Give a unit -4 this turn. And it also has predict. Look at the top card of your main deck. You may recycle it. So 3 cost to -4 might on a unit, and you get to look at the top card of your deck and potentially recycle it. All right, 5 cost, 3 might, Arena Kingpin. I enter ready. Tap, give a unit +3 this turn. Okay, very nice, very nice. All right. All right, so Poro. Okay, so bird, dog. What was the last one? Cat? Yeah, okay. I need to find a cat. So I haven't paid close enough attention to that text there. So 3 costs, 3 might, death now. If I didn't Loyal Poro. So Lonely Poro was a very popular card in the last set. Loyal Poro, we'll see if this is more popular. So 3 costs, 3 might. With death now, if I didn't die alone, draw 1. Okay, so very nice. So they got the Lonely and the Loyal. Dragon Soul Sage. 2 cost, 1 might. With reaction, add 1. So tap, add 1 rune. All right. Bewitching Spirit. 3 costs, 2 might unit. When you play me, choose a player. They discard 1. Soul Harvest. 2 costs, 1 power spell. Kill a unit at a battlefield with 3 might or less. Gardens of Becoming. Units here have tap, gain 1 XP. So that'd be very cool for like when you have like a lot of like tokens, that kind of thing. Ooh, Flurry of Feathers. This looks really cool. 4 cost 2 might spell with reaction. Choose one. Counter a spell. Or play 4 1 might bird unit tokens with deflect. Okay, that's very nice. So you get four tokens again, right? So this would be a combo right here, right? So you play the 4 tokens here for 4 cost. You get to rest 4 of them. They gain, 1 XP for each one. All right, Gentle Gem Dragon, 8 cost, 8 might. When you play me or another dragon, ready up to 2 runes. That would be a cool champion unit, but all right, 2 cost, 2 might unit, Mischievous Mirai. You can play a hidden for power. 1 power. When you play me to a battlefield, deal 2 to an enemy unit here. Okay, that's not too bad. Not too bad. Evelyn. Oh, this is some cool artwork. Let me see. Kudos Productions. This is some good artwork. I like it. So 2 cost, 2 might champion unit. Evelyn Entrancing. So hidden. That is interesting. Okay, it's a champion unit that you can play hidden. Okay, but it's funny because like you play it from, obviously you can play champion units in your deck, but if you play it from the champion zone, your opponent knows what it's going to do or what it's going to be. When you play me from face down on your turn, you may move an enemy unit at a different location to my battlefield. Oh, okay. So yeah, that's what Evelyn does in the game, right? She has that that charming ability, right? That makes the enemies come to her. So very cool. All right, and then we finally get an Ivern. Cool. 5 cost, 4 power. Excuse me, 4 might, 1 power. Champion unit, Ivern. When you play me, or when I hold, look at the top 3 cards of your main deck. Oh, excuse me. You may reveal a unit from among them and draw it. Recycle the rest. Then, if you revealed a bird, cat, dog, or Poro, do this. Buff a friendly unit. Not too bad. And then a Fury Rune. All right, so that wasn't too bad of a box. We got 2 epics. We got some really dope double-sided tokens here. Really like those. All right. So I promised we would weigh a box. Or we would pick our box by weighing it. So that's what we're gonna do. Alright, we're gonna weigh these suckers. We're gonna open the heaviest one. What is that, 70? Alright, doing too much. 792.09. Box number 2. 790. Alright, so you already lose. Alright, last one. Which one is it? 795. Okay, so we have a winner. We got a chunky boy. Let me make sure that I'm not tripping. This one was 792, right? Yeah, 792. Alright, here we go. Alright, so again, I'm getting tired. We're hitting 2 hours. So I'm not gonna open everything, but hopefully, I think I should. I'll have the energy tomorrow to stream, and we can open some more of these. Maybe we'll open some more. We'll open some One Piece as well. Can you smell it? That doesn't smell very good, but you know, use your imagination. All right. First couple packs, and here we go. I still need to open. I still need to look at a. Let me see, bird, a cat. I think a cat's the last one that I haven't seen yet. All right, combat experience with reaction. So it's a 1-cost spell. Give a unit +1 this turn. Fair enough. But if you're at level 6, give it +3 this turn instead. So that the XP is going to be very, very powerful, right? It's going to add in a brand new, definitely a very brand new mechanic and a very powerful mechanic. 1 cost for +3 might. That is strong. All right, 5 cost spell. Sprite Burst. Play 2 3 might sprite unit tokens with temporary. All right, 1 cost 1 power spell Vault Breaker. Give a unit Assault 2 and ganking this turn. +2 while it's an attacker. It can move from battlefield to battlefield. Thank you, gank that. Worth every penny. Mr. Root, Scrutinizing Sergeant, Concentrate. Oh, we did read that one. Okay, Megatus. Okay, so this is going to be a little easier because we're going through things. We're going through a lot of cards that we've already seen. If you guys have any questions on any of the cards, or you need me to stop and look through them because you didn't see it the first time around, then definitely let me know. We can go back and take a look at it. But any of the cards that we've already seen, we're going to just go through. All right, so Trapping Grounds. When you conquer here, if you assign 3 or more excess damage, play a 1 might bird unit token with Deflect. So that's like a Vi. It's like a Vi synergistic battlefield. Fresh Beans. Abandon. 2 cost spell with reaction. Counter spell. Return it to its owner's hand instead of putting it in their trash with Predict. Look at the top card of your main deck. You may recycle it. Okay, so that's very interesting. Return it to its owner's hand instead of putting it in their trash. All right, the Academy. This one is foil. Let me see. 7 cost, 6 might, 1 power. This is a hard name. Isilla. Yeah, that's kind of the best I got. All right. When I hold at the start of your next main phase. Let me think. When I hold at the start of your next main phase. Okay. You may move an enemy unit to this battlefield. Very entrancing. Ooh, LeBlanc. Here we go. This is the one that I've been wanting to kind of go over. So she's Mind and Order. So blue and yellow. When you conquer or hold, you may discard 1 and exhaust me to play a ready reflection unit token there. It becomes a copy of another unit there. Give it temporary. Okay, so basically doubles your units, and we've seen a lot of cards with like death nails so far. Not a lot, but we've seen some with death nails. So it gains these abilities, right? So it gains those same abilities. So when it dies, it gains, you gain whatever effect, even though it's just a copy, or this reflection token, it's a copy. It still has the death knell. So draw one or whatever the death knell is, it gets that ability. So very, very powerful card. I think this LeBlanc is going to be one of the better ones, but I honestly don't know. I that's just my intuition, because maybe it's one of those things where like it has a very, very unique kind of way to play, and I think that's going to be beneficial to it. All right, got another bird unit, bird token. All right, where did I put all those cards? Oh, over here. Alrighty. Timing of spells and abilities. Alright. Sharkling. 3 cost, 1 might. With Accelerate. Assault +4. +4 while I'm an attacker. Skyward Strike. Downstage Dramatics. Prepared Neophyte. Bewitching Spirit. Shepherd's Heirloom. So 2 cost gear. When you play this, gain 1 XP. Equip. Oh, so this is an equipment. Okay, equip. Spend 1 XP. Pay the cost. Oh, very nice. So you basically get to play this for free, right? When you play this, gain 1 XP. So it's +2. +2, very cool. That is cool. All right. Because typically all the equipment, right, and XP didn't exist until this set, but all the equipment before, you had to pay, typically it's like rest 1 and 1 power. So it's very interesting that you can equip using XP now. Very cool. All right, Gem Hand Hunter. 2 cost, 2 might unit with Hunt, which again, when I conquer or hold, gain 1 XP. Level 6, I have +1 might. Ripper's Bay. Wily Newtfish. 4 cost, 4 might. If you've gained XP this turn, I have +1 might and ganking. Okay, that's cool. Thought +1 might would be enough. 5 cost, 6K. This is a dog. Dog. Cat. No cats. All right. Dog. 5 cost, 6 might. When you play me, return a bird, cat, dog, or Poro from your trash to your hand. Arena Kingpin, foil. Pike Champion unit. So 3 cost, 3 might. You can hidden again. Okay, second champion unit that has hidden. Pretty cool. Backline. Once each turn, when an enemy unit dies while I'm at a battlefield, play a gold gear token exhausted. So this is what I was talking about before. So Pike's ability in the game, whenever he's a part of a kill in the League of Legends card games, he gains gold. So he gains gold and his teammates gain gold too, but all right. Ooh, very, very nice. So this is an epic. Red Brambleback. Okay, so this is the red buff. Very cool. So 4 cost, 4 might, 1 power with Accelerate. Your conquer effects for conquering here trigger an additional time. That is powerful. That is very powerful. When I conquer, buff a friendly unit. That is a very powerful effect. Your conquer effects for conquering here trigger an additional time. I want to see the blue Brambleback. This card looks pretty dope though. Looks really dope. Then Then we have an XP tracker. Okay, yeah, I can put all these cards. Okay, I'm used to putting the cards that I don't think I have enough copies of for my playsets in one pile and then everything else in the bulk, but there's no bulk here. No bulk here. Now, I will have to spend time like organizing these, but it is so nice not having to like inventory them and do alphabetical order and all that stuff. All right, Shadow Watcher, Ruined Rex. So here, man, perfect example, right? So this has a death knell. So if you use the LeBlanc ability, you make a copy of this, even though this doesn't die, once that temporary copy dies, you get to start the turn dealing 4 damage to one of your opponent's cards, right? So just makes it much easier to be able to maybe take over a battlefield. Heroic Charge. Okay, we did read this one already. Kinku Initiate. Okay. This is a familiar pack already. 3 cost, 3 might. Unit. Allay, Eager Admirer. With Deflect, keyword. While I'm at a battlefield, your other units here have Deflect. Okay, that's pretty cool. Call to Battle, 3 cost spell. Move a unit you control to a battlefield you control. Then choose an opponent. They move a unit they control to the same battlefield. Ooh, very cool. Oh, we got another hit. This time I know it because first foil card is a rare. So we'll be getting a good card here. Kha'Zix's Champion Unit. 4 cost, 4 might, 1 power. With Ambush. When I attack or defend, if an enemy unit is alone here, give me +2 might this turn and gain 2 XP. Not too bad. Ooh. This card looks amazing. This looks like it should be like an epic card. Wow. This card looks it kind of looks 3D. Yeah, that looks really good. So this is a 6 cost, 2 power spell that looks freaking dope. Holy crap, I love the way this looks. Choose 2 units. They deal damage equal to their mights to each other. Oh, okay, I see. Okay, so I'm thinking like this is exactly like Challenge, right? This is exactly like Challenge, which is like a 2 cost unit, or excuse me, a 2 cost spell from one of the older sets. So yeah, it's very interesting that this spell is so strong, but I think the way that it's worded is that this can force your opponents, what you would want to do here is force your opponent's characters to deal damage to each other, right? So that makes a lot of sense, right? So it just says choose 2 units. I'm pretty sure Challenge says you choose one of your units and you choose one of your opponent's units. I'm fairly certain that that's what that says. So here, you'd be able to make your opponent's characters deal damage to each other. So very cool. Very cool. All right. Next. Ooh. Diana Champion Unit. So this is the second champion unit, the second epic champion unit that we've gotten. We've went through a ton of these champion units already. That's very exciting. So 4 cost, 3 might. Oh, and this artwork looks so good. 1 power. Diana no longer human. That sounds very interesting. Has Ambush. When you play a spell, give me +2 this turn. Okay, so that is really cool because you can play. So that's, I'm sure that that stacks, right? So you, this is going to be a very good card. I can already tell. Obviously, it's epic, but you play a spell to give her +1, right? Then she gets that +1 from the spell. Then she gets +2 because you played a spell. So she gets +3. So for 1 might, it goes from 4/3 to 4/6. Yeah, that's adding 1 might because you played a spell. Yeah, that is very powerful. Very, very powerful. Sometimes, you know, I get into the mental space of like, oh my god, this card is, you know, it's a upper echelon rarity, right? It's an epic card or whatever. And you're just like, oh, it has to do so much. It has to do everything, right? It has to have text from top to bottom. Sometimes it's like, okay, this is very like basic text, right? There's like, its effect is when you play a spell, give me +2. 4 cost, 3 might, 1 power. So that one line of text on it, when you play a spell, give me +2, makes it so good because, right, it doesn't, there's no cap on it. You can play multiple spells, right? So again, we go back to that example where you, let's just say it's a one cost spell that gives her +1, right? You +1 +1 +1, right? So you've given her +3 for just the actual spell, then +6 for her ability. So that's +9 on top of her being a 3 cost unit or a 3 might unit already. So powerful, so powerful. Fate Weaver. Monch. Pressing Guardian. 4 costs. I can't remember if I've read this one. 4 costs, 4 might. If you've played a spell this turn, you may pay Chaos Rune as an additional cost to play me. If you do, I enter ready. Goodness gracious. 5 cost, 3 might. Soul Shepherd. Your tokens here, your token units have +1. Forbidding Waste. While a unit here is defending alone, it has -2. Wow. Oh, that is super interesting. That is crazy. Oh man, usually you're buffing your units, you know what I'm saying? You're buffing the things that are there. But while a unit is defending alone, it has -2 might. That is cool. That is very cool. Enthralling Protector. 2 costs, 2 might with Hunt. Spend 2 XP. Buff me. Forgotten Library. Oh, we did read this one already. Diana. Dirty Diana. So typically, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm like 95% sure on this. The legends in the set will have a champion unit. They will have a champion unit from each domain that they are, right? So there's 2 champion unit here's, 2 champion unit Dianas. I haven't seen Diana. I know they have one. I haven't seen her, so I'm assuming she's blue and purple, right? Because again, that's typically what happens. And I'm fairly certain one is a rare and then the other one is epic. I think that's a very common theme, or maybe I don't want to say it's for every single one, but if I had to put money on it, I'll probably assume that that's the case. All right, Diana, Vex. Vex is a leader or legend in this set. All right, 5 cost, 5 might. Champion unit with shield, +1 while I'm a defender. Tank When you stun an enemy unit at a battlefield, you may move me to that battlefield. Alrighty. Alrighty then. Alright, we're gonna open a couple more packs, probably 2 more. We're at 2 hours. And Daddy needs his sleep. We got a soccer game early tomorrow. So, but hopefully tomorrow. Tomorrow, actually, I don't know if tomorrow's gonna work. I'm going to see Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat 2. So I don't know if I'll be able to. I don't know if I'll be streaming tomorrow. Maybe I'll stream during the day, but we'll see. All right, Ice Veil Archer, Smite the Turn to Dusk, Ultra Soft Porro, Towering Combatant, Walking Roost. This doesn't make sense. When you play me, choose an opponent. They play a 1. There's got to be some kind of there's got to be something there. Star Spring. The first time a player plays a non. Oh, okay, we did read that one, but I guess I've already started. The first time a player plays a non-token unit here each turn, they may move another unit they control here to its base. Amateur Recital, Undying Loyalty, 2 cost 1 power spell. This costs 2 less if you choose a bird, cat, dog, or Poro. Play a unit with cost no more than 2 and no more than 1 power from your trash, ignoring its cost. So it's just for 1 power. You get to play a 2 might bird, cat, dog, or Poro. Or 2 cost. Concentrate. You've went through that one already. Dancing Grenade. Don't think we've played this yet. Or we've read this yet. 2 cost, 1 power. Dancing Grenade. Deal 2 to a unit. Its controller may play this spell again for 1 power. So the unit's controller, if they do, this deals an additional 1. This deals 1 additional bonus damage for each time the spell has dealt damage this turn. Okay, deal 2 to a unit. So it basically has like an unending like repeat, right? So you play 1 power, so you pay 1 power, and then the second time it does 3 damage. This is something I would, because so does it do, so if you do it twice, does it stack where it does 4 damage that time? So it does 2, then it does 3, then it does 4? Or does it do 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, right? Huh. That would be interesting to kind of figure out how that card works. Diana, here we go. This is what I was talking about. So we said blue and purple, right? Dirty Diana. Oh. And Dirty Diana. All right. Yes, that seems to be correct. Scorn of the Moon, Diana. With reaction. You tap this, add 1. Spend this energy only during showdowns. So you get a free energy, basically. Reflection. All right, last pack of the day, ladies and gentlemen. She says she's not coming back because she's sleeping with me. Dirty Diana. Oh. All right. Moonlight Affliction. Towering Paraffin. Soul Sword. 1 cost. Equipment. So it gets +1 might. Level 3, I have an additional +1. Okay, so level 3, so okay, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. Sprite Burst. Lunar Boon. 3 cost, 1 might. I agree. Sometimes I just like, I think like somebody else is gonna be like Michael. They're gonna be as big as Michael one day. That it has to happen. You know what I'm saying? But I thought Justin Bieber for a time was gonna be that big. You know what I'm saying? But he just kind of fell off. There really hasn't been anybody else. There's been popular people, popular groups, that kind of thing, but nothing like MJ. Absolutely nothing like MJ. All right, so 3 cost. With reaction, discard 1, then draw 2. A new moon is rising. All right, roll. I'm gonna look through all these damn cards and find a cat, because I haven't seen a cat. I'm sure I've been through a cat, but I haven't paid attention. All right, 6 cost, 6 might, Targonian Visionary. Level 11, I have +4. Wow. So I want to see a level 16. I want to see how strong a level 16 would be. All right, 4 cost spell. A lot of 4 cost spells in red, and I think it's blue. Repeat, discard 1. Oh, so the repeat is discard 1, so it isn't always this. So that is very cool. I really like how they're doing that. Like the equip with that other card was you spend 1 XP instead of, you know, tapping 1 and recycling 1. Same for this one. You don't have to repeat. You don't have to repeat the 4 cards. You just discard 1. Give a unit assault 4 this turn. Okay, so you can give a unit 8 for 4 cost and a discard of a card. So that's not bad at all. That seems like a really good spell, honestly. Ooh, a Sinister Poro. Let's go. Sinister Poro. I don't know, man. I don't know who it could be. Like, nobody is like him. Like, yeah, they have a ton of hits. Like Taylor Swift. Yeah, Taylor Swift is massive. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. I don't know. 2 cost, 1 power. Excuse me, 2. Well, I guess yes. 2 cost, 1 power, 1 might. Poro. When I attack, you may pay 1 to move an enemy unit here to its base. Wow. That is very powerful. That is extremely powerful, actually. Moss Stomper. 3 cost, 3 might, 1 power. Dog. Hunt with level 3. I have +1 might and deflect. That's not too bad. Bewitching Spirit foil. Nyla, 3 cost, 4 might, 1 power champion unit with accelerate and ganking. When I move, gain 1 XP. Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, that's a very good. I think that's a really good champion. All right. We have Kha'Zix. When you win a combat, so he's a part of the body and the chaos runes. So when you win a combat, gain 1 XP. Spend 1 XP, tap to buff a unit, spend 2 XP, move an exhausted friendly unit from a battlefield to its base. Okay, that is really cool. That's a really good ability. All right. Whew. Man, we've gotten no duplicates on the legends. That's pretty cool. They usually have quite a few legends. They usually have like 10 or so legends. Ganked that 2 bands in one night, man. You are on fire. Cool. So, man, this was a very fun stream. Thank you to everybody who joined during Ghost Games. That everybody joined during Ghost Games Raid, thank you guys very much for hanging out. Ghost Games, thank you for raiding and entrusting your people to me. So I'm very grateful and thankful for that. Gank that, best mod in the world. I always say. But thank you guys very much. If you like the stream, be sure to drop a like, all that stuff, follow, whatever. I don't really know, but I am grateful for you guys joining. This is something that I would be doing anyways, opening the packs, and this is kind of like the thought process behind it. Like I would be doing this anyways. I like to watch people do similar things, play the games and stuff like that. So I hope you guys enjoy hanging out with me, and until next time, good luck on your hits. Peace out.